Welcome to the Under Construction Podcast with me, Martin Williams. Here we talk about how to build or rebuild your life one step at a time. Let's get to work. And welcome to the Under Construction Podcast. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. All the links to the podcast can be found at guidedexpressions.com/podcast with an S. Today, I wanted to talk to you about dabbling, and more specifically, stop dabbling. Okay. So, as we go through life, as we grow up, we go through a period of awareness and a period of discovery. And we're trying to figure out our place in the world. We're trying to figure out what we're good at, what we're not so good at, what we're interested in, what we're not so interested in, and really what our path is, right? And I think that a lot of people kind of get stuck in that stage because they're always trying to, figure out, okay, what is it that I'm here to do, and, it's very easy to get into that phase and stay there for years, and some people stay there their entire lives. And that's not really optimal because, the more time that you spend trying to figure out what you're doing, the less time you spend actually doing it. So, a lot of people get stuck in this mode of dabbling. So they try this and they try that and they try the other thing. And it's like, I kind of like that, but, I'm not really sure. And then this, I definitely don't like that. So, and I'm going to try this over here and I'm going to try that over there. They're kind of like at a buffet, right? And you could say, that life is like a buffet, because there are so many options. There's so many things that you can do. There's so many things that you can get into, and there's so many things that you can partake in. But, again, you want to get to the place where you make a decision. Okay, well, this is what I'm going to focus in on, and then expand within that, right? So let's say, you're working at a job right now that you don't particularly like. You're not crazy about it. And there's definitely more that you want to do. And maybe that thing, maybe you want to be a game designer. Maybe you want to be a singer. Maybe you want to be, a social media manager for someone, whatever the case may be, right? And so, you say, all right, I'm going to start doing the thing that I love to do, which, I think is a good decision. Okay. But then you say, well, how am I going to make money, right? How am I going to, pay the rent or pay the mortgage, or how am I going to, pay my student loans down, or whatever, obligations are on you right now. I have children, and you're saying, well, I don't want my children to starve, and I don't want to be thrown out. And, part of that does is it kind of generates fear within you. And the more fear that you have working in your mind, the less action you're going to take. Okay. So we definitely don't want to do that. So, anytime that your mind just instantly goes to the negative side of something, you got to bring it back, right? You got to bring it back to like a non-emotional, non-judgmental place. Okay. And I can go in depth with more of that in a future podcast, but, anytime you go super negative, you got to say, hey, it's not, it doesn't mean that I'm going to, or my family is going to be in any kind of peril, if I go and start a business for myself. There's a lot of people who are able to take care of themselves and take care of their families through a business. There's, obviously there's things I need to learn. There's things that I need to plan out, but I can do this. Let's not go off the deep end, right? So you kind of pull yourself back from the ledge, with some of that thinking, right? So let's get back to making a decision. So you say, all right, I'm going to do what I love. Okay. But, immediately you start thinking, well, maybe I should do like a side hustle or a side gig to kind of supplement the thing that I love to do. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that the more options we have because of our mindset, right? Our mindset is not where it needs to be. So the more options we have, the more things that we try to like take on. And this is something that I've suffered from, in the past. So what I had to decide is that, okay, this is what I am. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make this work in some capacity. Rarely do businesses look the same when they start, right? A great example of that is Instagram. Okay, Instagram was started as like a photo tagging app, right? Kind of like a location app. It was a little kind of like Foursquare, for those of you that remember Foursquare, right? So that's what it was started for. It didn't really start the way that we use it now, right? But the founders, they became basically set for life because the market decided what Instagram would be, right? And so if you're someone who is trying to start a business and you're saying, well, this is what my business is going to be, maybe not think of it like that. Maybe think in terms of, okay, this is what it is now, and I'm going to put it out there. And then the market will basically decide what it becomes, right? And the market will use it as it so chooses, right? As long as you get paid, you really don't care, right? You can always create something that's just for yourself, but you don't need to foretell every step of the process. Sometimes it's just about putting it out there and letting the market determine what it wants to do with your product. Okay. So that's another side trip that I can expound upon in a future podcast. But again, it's making that decision and being decisive. One of the benefits of being decisive is that you put an energy out into the world. And basically what you're telling the universe, God, whatever term you want to use, you're telling the universe, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is the path I'm on. Okay. So, bring me what's on my path, right? If I want to go to Chick-fil-A, right, but I go down Main Street and there's no Chick-fil-A on Main Street, there's not going to be a Chick-fil-A there, right? The Chick-fil-A is only going to be on the street that it's on, right? So a lot of times people, hopefully I don't botch how I explain this, but a lot of people decide to go down a street where the things they want are not on, right? So you may say, okay, I'm going to do work that I love from now on, which is good. But you also got to add on, I am, well taken care of. I have a great life. I'm abundant. I'm happy. My family's happy. I'm in good health, right? So you're creating your own path, and everything on that path matches the intention that you put out. So you put out an intention of, I'm happy, I'm doing work I love, I'm abundant, I always have enough resources, and everything on that path will match your intention, okay? When you dabble, your intentions are all over the place, okay? So you're saying, well, maybe I'll try this and maybe I'll try that, right? And then it's like your mind gets overloaded because you're trying to do everything. And that's really what you want to get away from. You want to become known for something, right? You want to be the go-to person for something. And, it's easy to look at someone who is successful in something similar that you're doing and say, okay, I want to be like that. Like I want to do what they do. And it's understandable to, want to go down that road, but really what they do is unique. Okay. It's unique. And the good news is that you can do that. You can do something that's unique to you. What you want to do is that you want to carve out a place in the world that no one else can fill. And the way that you do that is to be yourself and do things in a way that only you can do them. Okay. I truly believe that the things that I do are done in a way that only I can do it. Right. And then be the best version of yourself. Be the best version of whoever you want to be. Right. And that to me is how you carve out a place in the world that, allows you to be rewarded at a level that your job can never reward you. Your job can't pay you the way that the marketplace can pay you, especially when you decide to be unique in whatever it is you're doing. So let's say that you do websites. There's millions of people who do websites. But how many people do websites for, solopreneurs, right? You only work with solopreneurs. You don't work with anyone else, right? Which is good. That definitely whittles it down quite a bit. But how many people work for solopreneurs who are doing network marketing? The number even goes down further, right? How many people are doing websites for solopreneurs in network marketing in the health and wellness sector, right? Even less. So you see the power of specialization, right? The more you specialize, the more you hone in on exactly who your customer is and exactly who you are, right? You start finding people, right? Every person in the world is an individual. No one in the world has your blueprint. Your fingerprint. It's branding, right? That's because my course is called The Blueprint. So I got branding on my mind all the time, right? So no one in the world has your fingerprint. No one in the world has your DNA, right? 7 billion people in the world, but no one has what you have in the way that you have it. So that unique specialization gives you an advantage. You are able to provide something so unique that no one else is doing it. And then by being specialized, putting that energy out there, this is not for everybody, right? What I do is not for everyone, and it doesn't have to be for everyone, okay? But it is for a particular set of people who, want to work with me, who want to be helped in the way that I can help them. And that is how you find your customer. That is how you find your market, when you specialize. And it is also how you eliminate the competition before they even try to jump in. And they will, right? Especially if you're successful. If what you do works, the competition will try to replicate it. It's just how the market is. The market will try to replicate what you do. But you don't worry about that because you have the special sauce. You have the special thing that makes what you do unique. So you don't worry about it. You don't worry about someone trying to steal your design or steal your idea. I'm telling you right now, if it works, they're going to steal it. They just are, right? They're going to steal it, but it's fine. It's okay because, only you can do what you do in the way that you do it. So stop dabbling. Stop giving the universe 100 different instructions. Tell the universe, this is what my life is going to be. It is, I am successful. I am happy. I am abundant. I have work that I love and I do it every single day. And, that's my life. And, as far as what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. For me, my path is mental programming and training. Like, that's what I do. Okay. There are a lot of different things that I'm interested in. And there are some things that I'm going to do as this grows and I'm able to, farm out some of like the daily tasks and whatnot, and it'll free me up to kind of explore other pursuits, right? But as far as what I do, what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, right? And that's not to say you can't do anything else, right? But you want to become known for this, known for something else. And then, when it's time to pivot, you pivot. But in this moment, you want to be focused and stop dabbling, stop trying to do everything else. So I want to leave it off here. And I want to thank you for listening to the Under Construction Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Stop by my website, guidedexpressions.com. You can check out my products. Got a few more things that I think you will be very, very helped by. And so, stop by, check that out, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the Under Construction Podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. For more information on Guided Expressions courses and products, go to guidedexpressions.com/products.